Joined now by MSUB cross country, and if you guys like to introduce yourself, please.
I'm Tyson Vanderbeek.
I'm Whitney Nicholson.
I'm Dave Kopic. I'm head men's and women's cross country coach.
And Coach, how about if you just open with a few remarks about how the season's gone so far?
Well, this has probably been our best. Not probably, it is our best season we've ever had at this point. We look really strong. Both teams are running really well. It's the deepest men's team we've ever had. We've got probably 11 guys that are all kind of in the mix in the top 7 or 8, which is good. And that really wins cross country meets when you especially when you get into bigger meets, when you have that depth. And on the women's team, we have 3 of the girls right now running really well. Whitney here is having a great season. Mary Ellen and Renee Hepner are running as well as they ever have, and we have a couple other girls in the top 5. Melanie Bach and Janice Osborne is a freshman, and they've come up really well this year. So I think our women will really do well too when we get to the conference game.
Coach, you guys are hosting your lone home meet of the season Saturday. Tell us a little bit about the field and the race in general.
Let's see, we have 7 or 8 schools that are going to be here. Probably the top one will be Black Hills State. Both are men and women. They're a really good Division II program. They just joined the NCAA Division II, and they were nationally ranked when they were back in the NAIA. And then Rocky Mount College's women are nationally ranked in the NAIA, and that really helped us too to have some good performances there. So, I'm hoping both our teams, we do have a chance of winning that meet. I'd like to see our women, take out Rocky. That would be something, since they are nationally ranked in the NAIA. And we've been close to them. We've been within a couple points of them early on in the season. So, I think that's possible. And the guys certainly have a really good chance of winning that meet. So.
Whitney, you're off to a great senior season. How do you think you've been running?
I'm really happy with my senior season so far. I feel like I've been running great, and we've been doing really hard workouts and haven't really been tapering for any of the meets so far. And so now that we're getting to the end and starting to taper, I'm starting to feel really strong, and I'm really excited for these last few championship meets that we have. But mostly I'm really excited about how our team's been running, because this is the best girls team we've had, and we've been way above like last year's team and the team before that. So.
And Tyson, a question for you. How do you think the men's team is faring so far this season?
Well, the men's team is by far the best we've ever had. It's kind of crazy. I've been running more towards the back of the pack this year, and I'm not really used to that. I came in shape a little less than par. So I'm paying the price for it now, because we have some guys, some younger kids especially, that really stepped up, and a couple transfers. And so I think the talent this year is pretty incredible. So we're kind of expecting pretty good things.
Coach, a question here from Don in Las Vegas. The GNAC championships are next week. What teams do you think will challenge for those titles?
Obviously, Alaska Anchorage, they've got a really strong team. Western Washington looks good. Western Oregon looks good. And then after that, we could be, Seattle Pacific and Northwest Nazarene are probably the next 2, in the top 5. And if we could crack the top 5, that would be great, because there are five of the GNAC schools are ranked in the top 10 of the region. And if we beat one of those even the 5th place team, 5th ranked team in the region, we could go on to nationals. They're going to take 5 teams out of our region after the regional championship. So that would set us up really well if we could beat, one of those ranked teams at least at the conference championships. And on paper, our guys can do that. I've looked at our times and their times, and like Whitney was saying, we haven't tapered off for any of these meets yet. So our times are really coming down. this week and next week.
Whitney, a question from Colorado Springs for you. What is it like running under a great coach like Dave?
Well, I really love Dave. Like, that's why I kind of switched over to cross country, is because I just really enjoyed track so much, and I was just like dream of cross country. And so switched over to cross country my junior year and just loved it. And I love the team, and we just really have a fun time and work real hard. But yeah, I love Dave as a coach, and we have a good time.
Tyson, a question from Justin in Salem. What's your favorite course you've run while at MSUB?
My favorite course, I think just because I consider myself a flatlander, if you will, would have to be our home course. It's so flat and fast that you can post a really good time on, and it's a pretty legit 8K, so that has to be my number one.
Coach, you're in your 24th season, not to date you here, but with 25 just 1 year away, do you have another 25 seasons in you?
I might, but I don't know if I can handle the bus trips. You know, I'll probably keep coaching until I'm irrelevant here. And I could say I'd have 25 more years, but you know, one thing I don't think a lot of people realize is I've only been full-time here for about 15 months. I coached part-time and had a full-time job, and there's been a huge difference in the teams, and plus the time I can devote to the team and the meets and the practices and the organization and everything. And the last 2 years have been the best in our history. And you know, it's kind of too bad. I wasn't going full time all those years, but it certainly takes a chunk out of the effort and the focus you have to coach a Division II program.
Question for Whitney and Tyson. Cross-country runners are incredible athletes. In fact, the expression is, you guys, your sport is everyone else's punishment in every other sport. So, I mean, what's it like to just go out and run every single day? I mean, everyone else, I think in every other sport, that's what they do when they get in trouble. In basketball, they make them run lines and things like that. You guys are out there running every day.
Well, it's almost a punishment for me too, but I don't know, I consider myself more of a track guy, so running 10 to 15 miles a day, it isn't the best. So I don't know, I enjoy shorter stuff, but cross country, I think gives you a really good mental advantage over lots of things, especially in life in general, so I think it's good practice for the future.
And I'm kind of opposite of Tyson, like longer the better. I just really have a deep love for running, and I don't know, it just like makes you feel good and makes your day all go better, and so I don't know, just love it.
Coach, how do you punish these guys? You tell them they can't run, do they have to go do push-ups, something else?
Yeah, it's kind of, you don't let them run, I guess. I don't know, we haven't really had to punish anybody yet, and they're kind of too tired to get into trouble, usually, so.
Coach, with winter coming up here, can you talk a little bit about indoor track and what that season's looking like?
Yeah, we had a track in 2008 was the first season we had it. So the program's coming along really well. We built the team up to over somewhere between 60 and 70 athletes right now. And the first indoor meet will be December 8th at Black Hills State. We've already got the sprinters and the jumpers and the throwers working out. We just started up last week. And like I said, every year we've gotten a lot better, and this looks like it'll be another really good year for us, and it should be our best season ever. But we're continuing to build that program. So.
What's the schedule looking like, and places you guys will compete?
We just like everybody else, we travel a lot. We don't have a home facility, but some of our closest indoor meets will be over at Black Hills. In Spearfish, Montana State, Bozeman. Then we have the conference championships down in Northwest Nazarene, in Boise, on Boise State's facility. Then outdoors, it's more of the same. We have a few long trips where we go over 1,000 miles. And One thing with track and field is we run, you run a lot of invitational and open meets, so we're competing against Division I programs pretty much all season. So we run a lot of meets over at Montana and Montana State. We've been to Boise State, Air Force. We can go just about anywhere we want, and then finally hook up with the conference, late in the season for the championship meets.
And Whitney and Tyson, how about your goals for the rest of the cross-country season?
Well, my goals are, I really want to get in the top 5 at conference, and I really want to be in the top 10 at regionals, and I'm really hoping to snag one of those individual spots to nationals. I was the 4th individual last year, and only 2 individuals got to go, and this year they've upped the qualifications and 3 get to go. So I'm kind of hoping to squeeze up into that 3rd spot or even the 2nd individual and go to nationals.
Well, my goals personally aren't quite as high as Witt's, but that's just because I haven't been running as great as I would like to be. But since our team is so good this year, I think getting top 8 in the region and possibly snag that 5th spot. There's 3 teams that are kind of right there right now for that national spot, and I think ours is actually one of those teams that people need to kind of look out for. It's pretty amazing how good we are and how even stronger we're getting as the season progresses. So.
Yeah, Coach, how do you see both your teams competing here as the postseason is coming up?
Well, I think the men's team has the best chance of kind of being really a dark horse, when it comes to the regional championships and in the conference as well. And I think the women's team, I don't think the conference or the region maybe is as deep in the women's field as it is in the men's field. So I think our women could move up quite a bit. There's some schools there that we can knock off, I think. And I don't see us getting close to maybe Anchorage or maybe Western Washington, but there's a few other schools in there I think we're pretty close to.
And do you guys have any closing comments?
Well, yeah, I do. We were ranked pretty low, I got to say, in the conference when we got our preseason rankings. And I think that's going to be a big mistake because these guys are really focused this year. And especially our men's team, we only lost 1 guy from last year. And everybody back, plus all the red shirts that we had back out as 5th-year seniors, and that's a big deal in distance running, is to be a little older. And I think the conference doesn't really pay much attention to us out here. We're pretty isolated. We don't see them all season until the championships. So I think we're sort of an afterthought. So we really want to go after some people out there and really prove a point. So.
Well, thank you all for taking the time this morning.
Thank you.